Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the SCSRA Intensity Apparel Truck Series here on iRacing as we get ready for the action here tonight. I apologize, I just realized I got the wrong logo up on the screen. We're going to get that real quick and get that taken care of as we see a couple drivers circling the racetrack right now, getting their practice underway. Just under 4 minutes left here in practice. We see Ryan Gomes there have some issues off of the corner. Currently up at the top of the leaderboard is the 68 of Devin Butchino. He's got a little drafting going on there. He's got Tyler Powers right there on the back bumper. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize for calling him Taylor last week, but it is Tyler. Bear with me just a moment. I get this final updated logo on the screen. I apologize for a little bit of a brief interruption here as we get that underway. There we go. We got everything all set now. We see a little battle here between Tyler Powers and Devin Butchino as Tyler got a little loose there. Now we see Devin get a little loose. And, one car coming up on the high side. That looks like the 38. Sorry, 88 of Kevin Graham. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight because we had an exciting week last week at Daytona. Points are up. David Wright getting the win last week at Daytona. Currently your points leader, Tim Likens, back in second. Brian Merle Jr. in third. Eddie Morris and Riley Gomes. We see Kevin Graham, Rick Ward, Brett Merle, Trey Spears, Joe Wright, Charles Balance, and Ryan Gomes. Your top 12. If the season was to end right now, that would be your top 10 or top 12 going into the playoffs. Although this is just the second race of the season, so we're getting ready for more action here from Michigan International Raceway. This is American Auto Auction West Michigan 85. So you can check out the link down below to check out the race sponsor, American Auto Auctions Michigan West, or West Michigan, excuse me. I know Tim Likens is going to be missing the next two races due to military orders, and completely understand, man. We appreciate. We thank you for your service. We appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you again in a couple weeks. But enjoy the broadcast here tonight. It's going to be a good one. We got just under a minute left here in practice. We've seen some high speeds here. Some really fast laps by themselves out there. So qualifying is going to be interesting here. These trucks are really, really fast on their first lap. Tend to be a little bit slower on the second lap, so we'll see who's able to get that flyer down on fresh tires. Track is also incredibly slick out there tonight. As we take a look at the track temperature. We see 78 degrees is the air temperature, but the track temperature is 121 degrees. So partly cloudy skies. That's going to make it for a difficult situation here for these drivers. Trying to keep that underneath from tonight. Michael Lawrence says wide open, baby. And yeah, for the first couple laps, these drivers will be able to hold it wide open as the checker flag is out here in practice, and we're getting ready for qualifying. Of course, thanks for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, over on Twitch. Over on Kick. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. So we will have 10 minutes to qualify. Let's see who our first drivers are to hit the racetrack, and they will be the two fastest trucks that have been out there so far. Tyler Powers and Trey Spears. Both drivers putting down some flyers by themselves here in some mock qualifying. We'll have to see how that runs here tonight. You see Tyler Powers go across the start-finish line. Start his first of 2 laps. Not too far behind him is the 3 of Trey Spears. And these are the 2 drivers that I expect to see on the front row here tonight. And down into turn number 3, Tyler goes hugging that yellow line all the way around as he comes off of turn number 4 down to the stripe. And Tyler is going to jump or put down a 40-17. Trey Spears puts down a 40-15. So, as I mentioned, those 2 are going to be battling it out here for that top spot. And exactly as I thought, Ryan Likens goes 3rd with a 40-36. Matt Allen just coming across the stripe. He's going to jump up into the 4th position currently with a 40-62. Riley Goebs comes across the stripe. He's going to bounce Allen back into the 5th spot with a 40-54. Rick Ward coming down across the stripe. And Rick Ward is going to move up into the 6th spot with a 40-66. While Trey Spears finishes his 2nd lap, which again, as I thought was going to be slower, 40-27 on his 2nd lap. Tyler Powers runs a 40-20 on his 2nd lap, which is just about 300ths slower. Kevin Graham getting ready to come down across the stripe. Graham's going to move up into the 6th spot with a 40-55. As D. Wright comes across the stripe, moves into the 8th position. We got Ryan Gomes about to come down across the stripe. Let's see what his first lap puts him. Up into the 4th spot with a 40-30. So a quick lap for the Cat 5.5 of Ryan Gomes. As Kevin Graham comes down across the stripe. Again, I imagine this lap will be a little bit slower than his first. Actually, it's a little bit quicker. He moves up into the 7th position. Dave Wright comes across the line, and he's going to jump up into the 4th position. So a flyer there for the 84 machine of Dave Wright, our Daytona winner. Joseph Wright rocking a new paint here tonight. His first lap is going to put him up into 9th. How about Zachary Cox here making his return to the SCSRA? Coming down across the stripe here. Let's see what it puts him. Looks like he is going to be starting in the back here tonight. As Joseph Wright comes through turns 3 and 4. Joe Wright down on that apron, which is legal here at Michigan. They can use all the racetrack they can. There is no out of bounds here tonight. And Joe Wright's going to move up into the 6th position as we see Eddie Morris out on track now all by himself. Comes down across the stripe to take the green flag on his first of 2 laps. And Michigan, much like Auto Club Speedway, 2-mile long D-shaped oval. However, unlike Auto Club, does not have the bumps that you see at Auto Club Speedway. Auto Club Speedway is a very bumpy track. It's got a lot of character. Here at Michigan, it's much smoother. As Eddie Morris jumps up to the top with a 40-11. And I thought we were going to see Trey Spears and Taylor Powers up on the front row, but Eddie Morris takes that away. But there are still a couple drivers left that can make a lap here and take that away. As Morris makes his way down through turns 3 and 4. And down across the stripe. Eddie Morris is going to go a little slower in his second lap. It doesn't matter right now. He is currently on the pole as David Hartney puts his first lap in here tonight. He jumps up to second. And he shuts it off. He knows that's going to be his fastest lap, and that's all he's going to be able to do. So how about that? Neon putting it up on the front row here tonight. Still have 2 drivers left to qualify. Don't know if they are going to make their way out onto the racetrack. So for right now, we'll just see if anybody else does come out of the racetrack. But we got about 3 minutes of qualifying remaining. So we'll take this time again to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, actually, we just see Devin Butchino snuck his way out onto the racetrack. His first lap put him up into the 13th position. Let's see if he's able to improve here on the second lap. Down across the stripe, and Devin is going to take over the pole away from Eddie Morris with a 40.04. Where did that lap come from? I wonder if the track cooled down a little bit. We saw the track temperature was about 120, yeah, still 121 degrees. So that was a burner there for Devin Butchino, 0.3 quicker than anybody else out there here tonight. I'm sorry, a 10th quicker than anybody out there tonight. That is a real burner lap there for Butchino. It looks like we have one more driver out there to make a lap. That is the 66 of Sylvain Seguin. It will be our last driver to qualify. His first lap's going to move him up into the 14th position. So he's able to do here on his second lap. Looks like he'll have enough time to make his way around and get this lap underway. And down across the stripe is Sylvain. Move up into the 13th position. That's going to do it for qualifying here tonight. As the field gets ready to grid up here at Daytona. Now we want to thank our great partners here tonight, including our series or race sponsor here tonight, American Auto Club West Michigan. This is the American Auto Club I'm sorry, American Auto Auction West Michigan 85 here at Michigan. We want to thank them for coming on and sponsoring the week tonight. They'll be sponsoring the Cup Series race tomorrow as well. Link down below in the description. Of course, our great partners over at Intensity, our series sponsor, and us here, Intensity Broadcasting and Apparel. Check us out at intensityracing.com. We have apparel for the racers. We got some racers apparel there, as well as if you're looking to get your own apparel made, you can check that out right there at intensityracing.com. Of course, Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. And, of course, our great partner over at the Butt Kicker. And Butt Kicker is a well-known established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure it's right for you by visiting thebuttkicker.com as we get ready to take a look at our starting grid. And Devin Butchino going to be on the pole with a 40.044. Eddie Morris will be starting from the second position. Row 2 will find David Hartney and Trey Spears, with Taylor Powers and Rick Ward rolling off from row number 3. Row 4 will be David Wright and Ryan Gomes, with Joseph Wright and Riley Gomes rounding out row number 5. Ryan Likens and Kevin Graham will roll off from row 6, with Sylvain Seguin and Matt Allen back in row number 7. And rounding out the field tonight, the 51 of Zachary Cox. It looks like Michael Dunn will not be racing here tonight, so that is your field here at Michigan as the field gets lined up behind the pace truck, all stacked, racked, and ready to go. We get ready for 85 laps here at Michigan International Speedway. Stage break tonight will be on lap number 30. Here we go. Pace truck leading the field down through turns 3 and 4, getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Devin Butchino is going to lead him down to the Geico starting zone. It is green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Michigan. And a great jump for our front 3. Going down into turn number 1, you see the field starting to spread out just a little bit. As Michigan's wide track, you can run 3, 4, and 5 wide comfortably here, and you're already seeing multiple different lines as the field makes their way off of turn number 2 for the first time. Down the backstretch they come. Tyler Powers down on the low side trying to make a move down underneath Eddie Morris. You see Trey Spears almost gets into the back of the Powers machine. Powers gets a little loose there off of turn number 3. They're 3 wide. Powers is going to have to stay down on the low side as the Wright brothers go side by side, and Devin Butchino leads the first lap here tonight at Michigan. Neon teammates side by side behind him, and a couple more Neon teammates side by side as the Wright brothers go side by side into turn number 2. Off the turn 2 they come as they rocket down the backstretch, and Devin Butchino pulling a little serpentine action down the backstretch, trying to break the draft of Eddie Morris. Here comes David Hartney, though, trying to give a push to Eddie Morris as they go down into turn number 3. And the draft will come into play here tonight. It's not like your typical 2-mile track. These drivers are going to be holding it wide open for the first couple laps. As caution is out for the first time here tonight, it looks like Ryan Gomes and Tyler Powers were involved in that one. That's going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. I'll see if we can see exactly what happened right here. Oh, just a little misjudged there as Powers came up the track into the 55 of Gomes. Gomes going to take that spin cycle down to the inside. Doesn't look like either driver hit anything. So both drivers were able to escape with, looks like no damage at all. So fortunately, doesn't look like we'll have to worry about using a reset or anything there, as Eddie Morris picks up the pace truck, and we'll see if anybody decides to make an early pit stop here. See if they can shake up the stage. Looks like Eddie Morris might be fake. Now it brings the field down to get fuel. Looks like the entire field making their way down pit road. And one truck does stay out, and that is the 66 of Seguin. Get the bit too much there. Try to get the camera view to see who comes off of pit road first. Looks like Eddie Morris is going to come off first. Devin Butchno, David Hartney, Joe Wright, Trey Spears, Joe Wright, Dave Wright, Riley Gomes. There goes Tyler Powers off, Matt Allen. But Sylvain Seguin decides to stay out here. Try to shake things up a little bit. Of course, a bit of a shakeup this season as opposed to what we've seen in previous seasons with the SCSRA. Typically, our second race of the season has been either a short track or something like something like Phoenix. This season's schedule a little bit different. We go with Michigan, then next week we move to Homestead. Then we have our first real challenge of a track at Dover. Then we'll move on to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Oval, which will be an awesome race. I can't wait to visit Indy Oval. Richmond, we'll go road course racing at Watkins Glen. Go to the Rock in Rockingham, New Hampshire, and Texas to round out the regular season. And we'll have the original Super Speedway, Darlington, and the modern Super Speedway, Talladega, as your round of 12. Bristol and Kansas as your round of 8, and then we'll round out the season at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So the field making their way down the backstretch. Lights are off on the pace truck. We get ready to go back green flag racing. And across the stripe, we'll have just 80 laps to go and 25 laps to the stage. So we re-rack, restack. Sylvain Seguin taking that inside lane, putting Eddie Morris up on the high side. Devin Butchno, David Hartney back in row number 2. And then Joe Wright and Trey Spears restarting from row number 3 as Devin waits for that pace truck to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Leads the field back. Sorry, it's Sylvain leading the field back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing here. And a great jump for Sylvain. But here comes Devin Butchino taking a look down to the inside of his teammate Eddie Morris. As Eddie's going to make it 3 wide coming off of turn number 2. Sylvain up on the high side. He's going to make it 4 wide almost. As Dave Hartney thought about squeezing it in there, he's going to give his teammate a shove here to the front. Now he's going to take a look down to the inside as they go into turn number 3. David Hartney wants to lead a lap here as Devin Butchno got down on the apron just a little bit. He got 3 wide racing a little further back. Well, Sylvain up on the high side, almost 4 wide racing. And we see Tyler Powers trying to force his way down to the bottom as he's going to make it 3 wide down into turn number 1. Powers, Dave Wright, Trey Spears up on the high sides. Oh, Trey just catches the wall lightly right there. And David Hartney out in front of Eddie Morris. Looking to lead a lap here tonight at Michigan. Get some bonus points there for that. You know, looking like he's going to have a head of speed here coming down the front stretch. He's going to try to take a move down into turn at number 1. A little further back, we see Matt Allen up on the high side behind Joe Wright. See the Wright brothers side by side. Ooh, a little blink there for Tyler Powers. He's able to get it figured out here as Devin Butchino now taking a look down underneath the inside of David Hartney, but not quite close enough to make that move happen. Hartney, though, taking a look back down to the inside of Eddie Morris as they come through turns 3 and 4. Not quite close enough to make a move happen. Meanwhile, a little further back, more battles going on here as we see Matt Allen take a look down to the inside of David Wright. And here comes the 9 of Riley Gomes. And again, Powers tried to make it 4 wide for a second, but he thought better of it. Makes it just 3 wide as David Wright up on the high side. Oh! Matt Allen gets turned down to the inside. Riley Gomes as well. Both drivers save it. Wow. What an incredible save for Matt Allen. Able to hold on to it. We stay green, but holy cow, what a save. Let's take another look at this one. As it looks like Matt Allen may came down a little bit into Riley Gomes. It looked like 2 drivers, just a little racing deal, and Matt Allen able to keep it off the inside wall. Minimal damage to both drivers. Oh, more yellow is out now as we got a couple drivers around. Sylvan Seguin into the outside wall. And caution flies for the second time here tonight. As we see the incident here. Looks like a little side draft goes wrong as Trey Spears gets into Sylvan. Ooh, Sylvan comes up the track, catches a couple cars there. Take a look from a different angle here, see if we can see who those drivers that were involved were. Looks like Tyler Powers was involved there. Rick Ward got a little piece of it. Kevin Graham getting a little chunk of that as well. That's a huge break there for Riley Gomes and Matt Allen, who are able to catch back up to the field. We do have a couple drivers coming down pit road. Tyler Powers coming down pit road. He's got a little bit of damage. Kevin Graham with some damage. Of course, Rick Ward already down on pit road in his pit stall. Don't know if he had to... Yeah, Rick Ward had to tow, so that's why that truck's not getting fixed up right now. Kevin Graham, looks like he's getting his truck fixed up. Doesn't look like too much damage to that 88 machine. Sylvan also just taking the damage fix, not using that reset just yet. Kevin Brown says, hey, y'all. Good to see you, Kevin. Sorry to say the doghouse race didn't go off tonight, but looking forward to next week at Phoenix. Thanks for joining us here tonight in the Intensity Broadcasting and Apparel SCSRA Truck Series. It's the American Auto Auction West Michigan 85 here at Michigan International Speedway. When we restart, we'll have about 11 or 12 laps to the stage break. As they come across the stripe this time, it looks like the pace truck's lights will be shutting off. Which they will, and Eddie Morris is going to choose the inside lane. Putting, looks like David Hartney up on the high side. Yeah, Kevin Brown says, all good, rather have everybody there for sure. No, it was a bit of a hassle for some people to get into iRacing here tonight. Luckily, everybody here in the SCSRA was able to join. Well, a couple people have tried the new weather system, said it is amazing, and looking forward to seeing how it plays out for the rest of the season. I wish we had weather here in iRacing timing. That would be kind of cool to see what the forecast looks like in some of the races where weather is not static like it is here in the SCSRA. But here we go, pace truck getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Yeah, I hope they get things running up. I'm sure there'll be a patch tomorrow that fixes a lot of it. But here we go, pace truck getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. We get ready to go back green flag racing as Eddie Morris leads him down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. And we are back racing once again as now it is Neon. All Neon up at the front right now. Neon Racing holding the top 5 spots. Ryan Likens here in this 214 up into the 6th position, battling with Ryan Gomes side by side as they come down the backstretch. Here comes Zach Cox into the mix here as well. Back up front, Devin Butchno take a look down to the inside. David Hartney, who's trying to take a look to the inside of Eddie Morris. He thinks better of it. Instead of going 3 wide, they go back to 2 wide. And that draft up on the high side with Eddie Morris, David Hartney, and David Wright are too strong for Devin Butchno, who's going to have to tuck back in line. Ryan Gomes battling here with Ryan Likens. Zach Cox trying to make his way into the picture here. Cox is going to try to go up there and give a push here to the 55, move him right out by Ryan Likens. He's going to stay up on that high side there, and he's going to try, ooh, catches the wall just a little bit. Cox up into the wall. Now allows Ryan Likens to get back by it. Meanwhile, up front, Eddie Morris, David Butchno, David Hartney, these 3 battling for that top spot. Butch now going to go down to the bottom lane and give a big shove to Eddie Morris down the front stretch. Eddie Morris is going to lead that lap. So we work lap number 17. 9 laps to go in the stage. Excuse me, 13 laps in the stage. Had to do some math there in my head. Brain's not working here real good tonight. Stage will come out on lap number 30 as we work lap number 18. So just 12 laps left in the stage. Devin Butchno, Eddie Morris side by side with Joe Wright and David Hartney side by side as these 4 trucks starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. The rest of the pack doing a really good job trying to stay in line and draft. And see David Wright giving a shove to Ryan Likens down into turn number 3. The rest of the field racing pretty conservatively back here in the back. You know, drivers like Tyler Powers, that's a game that truck who might have used his reset, trying to hold on to that truck and be there at the end as he works to the back bumper of Likens. We saw Matt Allen just get a little loose there off the corner. That allows Trey Spears to take a look down to the inside as they come down into turn number 3. Again, Michigan's such a unique track. We see drivers running all the way up against the wall, all the way down the apron, and everywhere is in between. As the battle for the lead continues to heat up, as Devin Butchno now taking a look down to the inside, trying to take that spot away. Oh, caution is out on the racetrack. Matt Allen is around yet again. That's going to bring up another wreckage rewind. As we take a look to see what happened to Matt Allen. Looks like he was racing with Tyler Powers here. Ooh, Allen just kind of came down the track. Just, I don't know if he got loose, was trying to chase it down the track or whatnot there. Then we see Trey get into the back of Powers, and those 3 go for a spin here off of turn number 3. Again, fortunately, nobody hit the wall. Everybody was able to keep it off the wall there, so it's like everybody should be able to escape with no real damage. The real question is, will anybody come down pit road this time? Looks like, looks like Riley Gomes coming down pit road. Of course, the 3 that were involved in that incident coming down pit road as well. So that leaves Devin Butchno up front. As Team Neon runs 1, 2, 3, 4. See Sylvain coming around the high side, getting the lucky dog. And next time by, we should be getting the 1 to go here at Michigan. Again, we want to thank all of our great partners here on Intensity Broadcasting that bring this coverage to you, including our series sponsor. This is the SCSRA Intensity Broadcasting and Appearal Truck Series. Check out the link down below. Check out our website over at intensityracing.com. Of course, Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Visit raceepi.com. The Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptics needs. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, our race sponsor here tonight, America Auto Auction West Michigan 85. Link down below to the American Auto Auction West Michigan down in the description. So lights are off on the pace truck. Devin Butchno up on the high side. Eddie Morris going to take the low side here. Joe Wright and David Hartney back in row number 2. Ryan Gomes in the Cat 5.5 and Dave Wright to his outside in row number 3. Ryan Likens and Kevin Graham make up row number 4. Then Zachary Cox and Riley Gomes back in row 5. Tyler Powers looks like he was able to get that truck fixed up. He's going to restart from the 11th position. Sylvain Seguin back up into the lead lap in 12th. Trey Spears going to take that 12. I'm sorry, guys. Sylvain's going to have to start in the rear taking the lucky dog. So Trey Spears up into 11th. And Matt Allen way back here in the 14th position. He's still got a scrape up on that left side, so he did not take a reset. And then Rick Ward back on the racetrack. He is currently being scored 2 laps down. Of course, with the stage break coming up in just a couple laps, he'll be able to get one of those laps back. And he should be able to get himself back onto the lead lap without issues. As the field makes their way off of turn number 4, pace truck back down onto pit road. Devin Butchno hits the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And a real big jump for Devin Butchno as he makes his way towards turn number 1. Eddie Morris, David Hartney side by side as they race down into turn number 2. And Joe Wright right there as well. He's going to take a look down to the inside of Eddie Morris as they come through turns 1 and 2. Not quite close enough to make that happen, though, as now Hartney's going to use that high lane advantage to pull on by Joe Wright. And there goes Dave Wright giving a shove to Hartney here as well. Eddie Morris down to the inside, trying to take the lead back away from Devin Butchno. The track has been really racy here as we got some 3-wide racing a little further back. Devin Butchno is going to lead that lap. But some 3-wide racing with the Wright brothers. Joe in the middle, Dave Wright up on the high side. We saw Ryan Gomes down on the bottom trying to make something happen. Now Gomes going to fall back a little bit as Tyler Powers looks down to the inside. Ryan Likens up on the high side. Ryan Gomes in the middle. Powers to the inside. He's going to power on by with a push here from Riley Gomes down into turn number 3. Across the line here, we'll have 5 laps till the stage end, and our top 3 are lined up nose to tail as behind. We just saw them almost 4 wide through the front stretch and towards turn number 1. And multi-groove track here at Michigan. We're seeing these trucks all over the racetrack trying to find what line is going to work best for them. We're starting to get a little more single file now as they come down the backstretch. And the battle for the lead is heating up yet again. Devin Butchno up on the high side. Eddie Morris down on the low side. David Hartney right there waiting in the wings in case something happens between these 2 drivers. This battle for the top spot continues to heat up between these 3. A little further back, Ryan Likens just lost a position to Matt Allen, who's back on pace after that spin. And a little bit of damage to the left side of that truck. It doesn't look like it's enough to really affect the handling of that truck as Matt Allen's starting to make his way back up through the field. Now a couple of more trucks enter the battle for the lead as Riley Gomes, Tyler Powers, and Eddie Morris go 3 wide down into turn number 1. What a power move there for Riley Gomes, moving himself up into the 3rd position. Riley took tires on that last stop, and we're seeing those tires play into his hand right now as both him and Tyler Powers on fresh tires, and you can see the difference in speed as that 9 truck has now driven himself up to the inside of Devin Butchno, trying to take that top spot away. Down across the stripe, Riley Gomes is going to take the lead away. Here comes 3 wide as now Tyler Powers takes a look down the inside. Oh, Riley Gomes gets a bump there. Gets him out of shape. Tyler Powers takes the lead. Devin Butchno is going to fall back as we got another one falling back right now. Ryan Likens. Sylvain Win back there as well. Trying to find the action on the track as there's action everywhere right now. Kevin Graham up to the outside, David Wright. We see Riley Gomes is falling back into the 7th position. A lot of damage to the right side of that 9 truck. Meanwhile, up front, Tyler Powers and Matt Allen now starting to battle for the lead here as Powers does a little serpentine down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Matt Allen, another driver here on fresh tires. We'll see what happens here as they come through turns 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, down to the stripe. Matt Allen trying to make something happen on the low side, but your stage winner will be Tyler Powers as the caution flies for the stage break. Your stage winner will be the 45 of Tyler Powers. Making those 4 tires work. I think he took 4 tires. We're going to double check our pit time here. Yeah, looks like he was able to take 4 tires, get some damage fixed up, and that allowed him to get himself up to the lead and win the stage here. Matt Allen second, Devin Butchno third, Dave Hartney, Riley Gomes, your top 5. Eddie Morris, Joe Wright, Kevin Graham, David Wright, and Ryan Gomes round out your top 10 in the stage. Put that up on the side here, the left side, so you can see where your favorite driver finished in the stage. As the field catches up to the pace truck. Charles Bound says it sucks they wasn't able to make it. 10 gig update. Yeah, the update was pretty big today. Sorry you had to miss the race. Hopefully you'll be back on track tomorrow night. Well, here we go. Field making their way off of turn number 3 and 4. We'll see who makes their way down pit road. I wonder if drivers like Tyler Powers, Matt Allen, they're just going to come down and take fuel only, as they were just on pit road not too many laps ago where they took fresh tires. Nope, the entire field making their way down. I take that back. Tyler Powers does stay out, and Rick Ward will be your lucky dog here. He will get one of his 2 laps back. And let's talk to our stage winner. Hey, Tyler, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, great run in the stage there. Getting the stage win. Looks like you took tires there on that last stop, and that was able to allow you to drive up through the field. Talk about your strategy for the rest of the race now that you're going to have some fresh tires behind you, and your tires are going to be about 10 laps older than theirs.
My plan is to run these tires as long as I can. I know I'm going to fall back pretty quick, but I'm going to try to save a set for later, and hopefully I could do it again at the end of the race.
Awesome, man. Track looks really racy. It looks like you guys are able to pretty much put that truck anywhere as you want tonight. Talk about the grip levels there, because I know the track is incredibly hot out there tonight.
It's really loose. And then when you're around other cars, if you're 3 wide or 2 wide and you're close around the corner, getting out of the corner is really loose. I almost lost it a couple times. And then I got involved in 2 incidents already. So yeah, it's a handful, but I'm getting used to it. So hopefully I can finish out the race pretty good.
Looks like everybody's getting used to it as the racing has been phenomenal, especially up at the front. Good luck the rest of the race, Tyler, and hopefully we'll talk to you again at the end.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
Have a good one. As we get him back into his room there. Although he doesn't have any teammates here on the racetrack, he is making friends for sure, showing the speed of that truck here tonight. He was fast in practice, and he is fast again here in the race. And he's going to choose the inside lane, putting Matt Allen up on the high side. And again, everybody else on the racetrack has fresh tires compared to him, so we'll have to see how these 10-lap older tires fare on this restart. So here we go. Field making their way down into turn number 3. We get ready to go back racing here. As the base truck pulls off down on the pit road, and Tyler Power is going to lead them back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And we are back racing, and Tyler trying to do everything he can to get out in front. Trying to use that clean air to his advantage. All those drivers on cold tires struggle for grip for the first lap or two. See a couple cars get a little out of shape a little further back as Devin Butchno right there on the back bumper of Tyler Powers going down into turn number 3. A couple of new faces up here at the front. Kevin Graham trying to make something happen. Matt Allen down on the low side. Allen gets a little loose there. He's going to come back up across the track. He is going to save it. No caution. A great save for Matt Allen as he almost lost it right there in front of the field. Spooked a couple of drivers, got a few drivers out of shape a little further back, and now we see Kevin Graham got a little loose there into turn number 1. That allows David Wright to pull right up on the back of that 88, and Joe Wright and Trey Spears is going to take advantage of that down on the low side, down into turn number 3. Drivers making hay while the sun shines, as now David Hartley going to take a look down to the inside of Tyler Powers, trying to take over that top spot with a push here from Eddie Morris. Powers knew, like he said, he knew he was going to get swallowed up here on this restart. He just didn't know how long it was going to take, and right now we can see that David Hartley back out in front as Neon teammates Eddie Morris and Devin Butchno push by the 45 of Tyler Powers. Further back, got a little race heating up here between David Wright and Ryan Likens. D. Wright not able to get a good run there off the corner to pull up alongside of the 214, but down into turn at number 1, you see him right there on that back bumper trying to loosen that 214 up. And Dave Wright going to choose the high side here, trying to get that momentum off the corner, see if he can make a run here down the backstretch. Meanwhile, up front, Eddie Morris now takes over the lead from David Hartney. And Devin Butchno trying to take a look down to the inside. And Tyler Powers impressively holding on. he didn't think he'd be able to hold on too long with those older tires, and right now he's doing a good job staying on the back bumper of Devin Butchino. As Joseph Wright tries to get something going here, he's starting to pull away from Trey Spears a little bit and trying to run down that front four, excuse me. David right now still trying to make a move down underneath Ryan Likens, not able to, and Zach Cox right there on the back bumper trying to make a move on the 84. As the battle for the lead is heating up again, Devin Butchino down on the low side of Eddie Morris. But not quite able to make it happen as now David Hartney back up to the high side. Ryan Likens looking for a way around the three of Trey Spears as David Wright looks like he might have burned his tires off just a little bit. And he is pulling away from David Wright. Tim Likens has gone down over here, his first race ever in iRacing. First race on this track. And he's holding his own pretty well. Yeah, he is definitely out there holding his own well out there. He is right there on the back bumper of Trey Spears and trying to crack up into the top 5. You see Cox inside of right here as he moves down to the apron, try to get a run on the 84. But not able to make that move happen. As now Ryan Likens looking up to the high side on Trey Spears for a second. I thought he was trying to make the run, the crossover run down the backstretch here, but he is right there closing in on that 3. Give him a little shove down into turn number 3 and take a shot down to the inside. And Likens trying to get a little help here. Oh, right, Likens pushes up the track and into the side of Trey. Both drivers able to hold on to it. What a save by both drivers, but Ryan Likens going to lose a couple spots here as Dave Wright and Zachary Cox both go on by. Now we've got a 4-truck battle for the lead as Eddie Morris, David Hartney, Devin Butchino, and Joseph Wright run nose to tail. Joe Wright really using that low lane right now, trying to get around his teammate Devin Butchino, and here comes David Hartney with the run down the front stretch. Not able to make that happen on Eddie Morris. You see all top 4 drivers using completely different lines through the corner. Devin Butchino takes a dive way down to the bottom, trying to make something happen. Gets a heck of a run there off of turn number 4. Pull up right alongside Eddie Morris as David Hartney now takes the lead away. And Joe Wright trying to get up into this mix here as well. A little further back, we see Ryan Likens has gotten back by David Wright. And he's moved himself back into the 6th position. He's trying to run down the front group. Actually, these 3 drivers right here, Likens, Wright, and Cox, try to stay in line. Well, I thought they were going to try to stay in line, see if they can make a run back up to the front as we see Likens getting really loose there, able to hold on to it. But man, that 214 was just completely sideways. Let's take a look at this one from the in-car here. You can see him working the wheel in there. It's never a fun feeling at that speed when you have to turn the wheel to the right. Ooh. Dave Wright hard up into the outside wall. It's going to allow Cox to get right on by. And Ryan Likens is going to take advantage of that as well, as he's going to get a 2-for-1 here into turn number 3 as he chases the truck back up the racetrack. And Ryan Gomes right there looking down all the way to the apron, making it 3 wide across the stripe. There's hard racing all over the racetrack. We see the battle for the lead. Trying to heat back up, but this battle, I wish I had a split screen, because this battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th has been just as good as the battle for the lead. We see Rick Ward coming down the backstretch into turn number 3. He's got Matt Allen there, but as these two make their way into turn number 3, we see our leaders already coming across the stripe. So Rick Ward still being scored, I believe, 1 lap down. We'll see it on the ticker this time when it comes by. He's still being scored 2 laps down. So I thought he was going to have an opportunity to get back up towards the lead lap, as we are just past halfway in this race, and David Hartney back into the lead. David Hartney won the Cup race at Daytona this past week. Trying to make it 2 races in a row. As now Joe Wright has moved himself up into 3rd, and he's going to try to take 2nd place away from Devin Butchno. And he indeed will take that spot away. David Hartney running the wall there, getting that run off the corner. But Joe Wright, is he going to have anything for us? We see one truck up into the outside wall. That was Tyler Powers up into the outside wall, rubbing the wall. That's going to allow Zachary Cox by. And Cox moves up into the top 5. Meanwhile, while that's been going on, Joe Wright has taken the lead away from David Hartney. And David Hartney looks like he's sliding back just a little bit, back into the 4th position. As these 4 Neon boys have been pretty much battling out for the race win here tonight. These 4 trucks pretty evenly matched. As you see Ryan Likens working his way around David Wright and into the 8th position. Now he's going to set his sights on Tyler Powers. If we look at the 45 here as he comes by, we'll just have to see how much damage there is to the right side of that truck. The truck's in pretty good shape, so that should not affect that truck's handling too much. What is affecting that truck's handling is those much older tires than the rest of the field. You wouldn't think that 10 laps would be a huge amount, but you can see just how much he's struggling to hold on to that truck on those older tires. As Devin Butchno has Eddie Morris right there trying to find a way around that 68 machine. Again, David Wright, Ryan Likens going at it side by side. As Tyler Powers does come down on the pit road. Question is, how much time is he giving up being on pit road right now? We'll put the track map up here. We'll see where the field is compared to where he is. See Joe Wright coming off of turn number 4. It looks like Tyler Powers is going to lose at least a lap here as he's just coming off of pit road. And here comes the field on by at full speed. However, where Powers does blend here off the corner, he should be able to run these boys back down and get that lap back. As we see Trey Spears back here in the 9th position, and I imagine that we should see when drivers come back down on the pit road this time, these drivers who were involved in a couple little incidents will probably be taking their fast repairs here. As we see Ryan Likens now coming down on the pit road. So he makes a long trek down the front stretch to his pit stall. Down on the bottom of the screen, we'll see pit stops taking place. You'll see the first 3 letters of the driver's name. When it's flashing pit, that means that they're on their way to their pit stall. When it's solid pit, like you see Ryan's sign there, that means that they are currently sitting in their pit stall. When that changes to a time, that's how long they were stationary on pit road. Looks like a long stop here for Ryan Likens. Ooh, I don't know, maybe he's sped down on pit road because he's been on pit road for quite a while. Just over a minute on pit road. And speeding on pit road here is a 40-second stop, or 40-second hold on pit road. Yeah, you see that 15-second stop, 40-second penalty. And Ryan Likens going to fall back. Although, there's still a lot of racing left. There's a lot of chance that he catches a couple cautions and gets himself back in a position here. Meanwhile, we see Joe Wright being challenged by Tyler Powers. Powers able to unlap him. You see the difference in speed now between old and new tires as Powers is now pulled away from the 82 of Joe Wright. We got really loose there off of turn number 4. See Darren Hartley trying to fend off Cox down into turn number 1. Exactly like he was going to do a little bit of a crossover. Yes, he is, as Cox is going to go inside of David Hartley down into turn number 3. He's going to pull a slide job there up in front of the 43 machine as David Hartley gets really loose there down on the low side, but continues his run here as he tries to fight back. They are side by side down into turn number 1. Hartley's having a hard time holding on to that race truck as it is really loose there on the corner. Still battling with that 51 machine down into turn number 3. But Joseph Wright still leads here in the American Auto Auction West Michigan 85. As we are quickly approaching 25 laps to go and quickly approaching more pit stops, and we see David Wright down on pit road getting his service done. Which tells me the rest of these boys will be coming down pit road within the next lap or 2, I imagine. Don't see anybody else taking the dive down on the pit road just yet. Oh, I take that back. Trey Spears. Oh, Trey Spears having some issues getting down on the pit road. See Sylvain Seguin down on the pit road as well. What happened to Spears coming down on the pit road? Looks like just a little too much rear brake trying to get that slowed down. Ooh, just tags that inside wall, gets up on that curbing there. He has to back up. As Devin Butchino now running down Joe Wright. Eddie Morris, Ryan Gomes down on pit road. Looks like Kevin Graham going to come down on pit road as well. Riley Gomes coming this time. Trying to see if Matt Allen's thinking about coming down on the pit road. Looks like he will. As Joe Wright and Devin Butchino continue to battle for this top spot. And they are both going to come down pit road. Devin hard into pit road. Loses it, they collect each other. Devin Butchino hard into the inside wall. Joe Wright caught up in that as well. David Hartney going to pass right on by. And Tyler Powers is going to retake the lead. See if we can get another look here to see what happened to Devin and Joe. Yeah, we see Devin on the outside driving it in deep here and then losing the, locking up just a little bit. Oh, he locked it up coming down the pit road and catches Joe Wright. Both drivers catch the inside wall. Trey Spears now on pit road. But your leader back up front with under 25 laps to go, the 45 of Tyler Powers. Eddie Morris runs back in second, and he is 7.6 seconds behind. We'll put that up here on the tower so you can see the intervals here. With just 23 laps to go. Eddie Morris coming to the back bumper of Ryan Likens. He's going to take a dive down to the inside lane to get around that 214. And coming to 22 laps to go, is there going to be enough time for Eddie Morris to run down Tyler Powers unless we have a caution? That would change everything. But currently it looks like everybody's pretty much separated on the racetrack pretty good, except for our two Wright brothers here. You see on the the track map up there where everybody's running, and much more spread out than we've seen most of this race so far. And as Rick Ward has now made his way down on the pit road. Eddie Morris has eaten about a second into that lead that Tyler Powers has. Last time by, Powers ran a 41.31. Eddie Morris ran a 40.70, so about 5/10, about a half second quicker Eddie Morris was running. Eddie Morris also had a little bit of a draft there from Sylvain Seguin, so we'll see if that changes things a little bit here as Zach Cox and Ryan Gomes do battle here for the 4th position. See Cox slide across the nose of Ryan Gomes and makes their way down towards turn number 1. David Hartney in 3rd position. He's got Ryan Likens right here in front of him. Likens going to stay down low and out of the way, allowing the leaders to come by. Hartney has a hard charging Cox right behind him, trying to catch up to that 43 machine. Eddie Morris now just over 4 seconds behind Tyler Powers with 19 laps to go. Eddie's going to catch Tyler. There's no doubt there. The question is he going to be able to get by him. It's one thing to run a driver down, but once you start getting in dirty air behind another driver, it can really upset these trucks. We heard Tyler talking about it being 2 and 3 wide earlier, how much it affects the aerodynamics of the trucks, and now we see Eddie Morris trying to run down that 45 machine. But is he going to be able to make it happen as we have 18 laps to go? Again, we switch gears next week when we move on to Dover. Excuse me. We move on to Homestead, which is always a great race. We've seen Homestead races go green flag except for the stage. Will we see that again next week? Tune in here on Intensity Broadcasting for the SCSRA Intensity Broadcasting and Apparel Truck Series. A little wiggle there out of the 45 of Powers. And that's going to hurt his time, as now the difference in lap time between these two drivers. See just how much faster Eddie Morris is coming right now. And he's coming quickly. You see right there in the picture. So Tyler might have to settle in here and see if he can put his defensive shoes on, as Eddie Morris has now cut that interval down to under a second. Morris coming quickly in these final laps here at Michigan. You see just the speed difference that Eddie Morris has. He's got that draft now. He's going to cut down to the inside, going down into turn number 3. And Eddie Morris fighting for the lead here at Michigan, down to the inside. He's going to take that lead away now. You see the 3 of Trey Spears coming by. He is certainly being scored 1 lap down, trying to get his lap back from Eddie Morris here. Now there's quite a distance here between Tyler Powers and David Hartney, but you see Hartney kind of the same thing, about a second a lap quicker. But running in the draft here could be a little bit of advantage for Powers, as he'd be able to get a little more speed down the straightaways. He might be able to stay hooked up here. Well, Dave Hartney is coming quickly. And Taylor Powers has to come back down pit road, so that is going to end it there. His run for a good finish here is Eddie Morris and Trey Powers are battling it out, as this is a battle for getting your lap back. And Trey Spears is going to take that away now. Does David Hartney have anything for Eddie Morris? How about Zachary Cox? Runs back in the 3rd position. Does he have anything left in the tank here? As we have 14 laps to go. See Eddie Morris in the wake of that 3 truck. That is dirty air. That is not what Eddie Morris wants right now. He wants clean track in front of him, and this is why David Hartney closing in on Eddie Morris. The interval just 0.7 of a second. And how about Zachary Cox making his SCSRA return here tonight? Currently up into the 3rd position, up 12 spots from where he started. Could he be a contender here at the end of the race? Speaking of contenders, David Hartney really turning things on the last few weeks. He's really been showing some speed at a lot of different tracks. Won Daytona in the Cup Series, led a bunch of laps at Daytona in the Truck Series. Now trying to run down Eddie Morris to get a win here at Michigan. little further back, Devin Butchino and Ryan Gomes battling it out for the 4th position. Butchino tries to get the gas down. Ooh, big wiggle out of the 55 of Gomes. That's going to allow Devin Butchino to pull right up on the back bumper of that 55. Give him a shove down the front stretch and into turn number 1. I think Devin might be trying to use that 55 as much as he can to gain some speed on our front runners here, but look at this. David Hartney has now caught Eddie Morris. As we take a look off the back bumper of Eddie Morris, you see that interval on the left. David Hartney's there as we come to 10 laps to go. And Hartney is right there on that back bumper. While Eddie Morris is dealing with some lap traffic, here comes the run from David Hartney. He is there on that back bumper trying to get by Eddie Morris. Just 9 laps to go. Don't count out Zach Cox. He is right there in the mix as well. Could Zach Cox play spoiler here tonight? Your top 3 almost nose to tail as they come down the backstretch. And David Hartney giving a shot to Eddie Morris down into turn number 3. Hartney's going to cross over the 8 of Morris. Morris gets a little loose there up into the outside wall. Hartney's going to have to tuck back in behind. We have just 8 laps to go. Zach Cox fell off just a little bit that time. He was a little bit slower than our 2 top cars, but almost identical speeds for the top 3. Eddie Morris ran a 41.96, David Hartney 41.91, Zach Cox 41.99. And Devin Butchino much quicker with a 41.62. Back in the 4th position. Here comes David Hartney looking down to the inside, but not enough room to make that happen as we have 7 laps to go, and that allowed Zach Cox to close back up on David Hartney. What a battle we have shaping up here as these laps continue on. As Trey Spears having some issues there. Looks like he went off track right in front of our leaders, which is not what these guys wanted to see. Eddie Morris is now pulled away from David Hartney and Zachary Cox as Cox is right there on the back bumper. Zachary Cox is going to take a look down to the inside of David Hartney. This is a battle for 2nd place. David Hartney gives a shot to Eddie Morris. Morris slowing down the front stretch. Not sure what happened there, but Dave Hartney gives a big bump to the 8 machine. We have 5 laps to go. See Devin Butchino now sneaking into the picture, although he is now about 2 seconds behind our lead pack. As David Hartley makes another move down to the inside, putting Eddie Morris up on the high side. And we come to 4 laps to go. Zach Cox again taking a look down to the inside of David Hartney. Running the middle groove. Eddie Morris running a little bit higher. Zach Cox all the way down on the bottom. As they go side by side down the backstretch. Ooh, a little contact there as David Hartney caught the outside wall. And Zach Cox continues to try to put pressure on the 43 machine. He almost clears the 43 of Hartney, then gets loose down on the bottom side, allows Hartney to get the run back on the high side. We have 3 laps to go. David Hartney looks like he's trying to bring home either the trophy or the steering wheel. Nothing in between. Eddie Morris trying to get a win here, his first win in the Truck Series this season, to move himself on to the playoffs. Zach Cox just trying to play spoiler here as we have 2 laps to go here at Michigan. Cox again looks down to the inside. We've seen him get down there before, but he's got loose off the corner. Last couple times he tried it now. Has to tuck back in line behind David Hartney. Hartney got the run down into turn at number 3, but does not have a good enough run to try to take it. Because now Zach Cox looks up to the high side. David Hartney again in the middle. Cox gets really loose there. Has to chase the truck down the racetrack. 1 lap to go. Who's going to take it here at Michigan? It's David Hartney right there on the back bumper, pushing Eddie Morris down into turn number 1. Zach Cox far enough out of it right now. I don't think he's going to be able to get a run down the backstretch to make anything happen. As David Hartney, again, right there on the back bumper of Eddie Morris as they come down the backstretch into turn number 3. Zach Cox with a wild move now down to the inside as they come down across the stripe. And Eddie Morris is going to get the win here tonight at Michigan. David Hartney brings it home in second. Zachary Cox, in his return to the SCSRA, comes home third. Devin Butchno and Ryan Gomes round out the field here tonight. But your winner, and I can't say dominating fashion because it was a heck of a race all race long. Eddie Morris getting the win here tonight at Michigan. As the field makes their way down to the front stretch for their celebratory picture. As we wait for third place Zachary Cox to get up here. Backing up on pit road, didn't know he was supposed to get to the front stretch for the photo. Now we see Zach Cox making his way over to the 3 on the front stretch here. Now Eddie Morris will be able to celebrate his win here tonight at Michigan. We'll take a look at the final results in just a moment. Oh, we'll take a look at the results. Oh, no. It looks like Eddie's going to start his celebration right now. As the 8 of Eddie Morris burns it down here on the front stretch here at Michigan. We'll take a look at the final results. With Eddie Morris getting the win, David Hartney coming home second, Zach Cox coming home third, Devin Butchno and Ryan Gomes, your top 5. Joe Wright brings it home in 6th, Riley Gomes back in 7th. Kevin Graham comes home 8th, Dave Wright and Sylvain Seguin round out your top 10. Tyler Powers comes home 11th, Matt Allen back in 12th. Trey Spears, Ryan Likens, Rick Ward, and Mike Dunn round out the rest of the field here. As Eddie Morris is going to park that truck down in victory lane. And we'll get ready to talk to our top 3. As soon as they make their way down to the waiting room. We'll get our cameras all set up here, as we always do. We'll start with our 3rd place finisher, Zach Cox. Zach, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Man, how about that? Return to the SCSRA, come in tonight and come home on the podium. Talk us through that race, because you had a bit of a wild race here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been over just about a year or so since I raced with y'all. I got transferred down, so I'm active duty Navy, had to get everything set up. I'm rotating shift work. And I really haven't messed with iRacing except for the past few days. Started getting back into it. And so I just wanted to take nice and easy in the early part, trying to figure out how this truck was going to handle, and just kind of slowly started inching my way up there. Had a couple of scary times there. That track was pretty slick tonight. So, but yeah, it was fun. I was really excited to come out and have a strong outing there.
Not just having a strong outing, but battling for the lead there in the closing laps. Talk us through that battle between Eddie and Dave there as the laps wound down.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was a lap car might have been holding Eddie up, because as we started, Dave and I were gaining a decent amount of ground on him. And then it was so hard to pass tonight with how slick the track was. If you try to change your groove, you had to mess with the throttle so much more. And so I was trying, all I can do is keep out of them, because I'm not racing for points this year since I'm in rotating shift work, but I'm going to try to have a couple more outings here. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, just sitting there sliding around with the 3 of them, trying to figure out a way to come home with the win. Congrats on 80 for the win, and congrats on David. I heard David won Daytona this year too, so he's definitely having a strong outing as well.
Yeah, he had a great start to the season, Hartney is, and man, great showing here tonight, bringing it home in 3rd, having a great run. Man, glad to see you back here on the racetrack. And Zach, before we let you go, anyone want to thank a shot you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my family, always. They put up with me and all my hobbies and stuff I have. You for the incredible broadcast. Once again, I always try to watch in, even when I wasn't racing. I was trying to tune in every now and again when I had time. Eddie, Devin for letting me race tonight, because it was kind of a last minute deal. And then all the competitors. It was definitely a lot of fun out there tonight.
Well, it was a lot of fun watching it here tonight. Again, congratulations on the podium here, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm going to try to hopefully race next week too. So
awesome, man. Well, hopefully we'll see you at the Homestead next week.
All right.
Have a great night.
You too, bud.
So that was your 3rd place finisher, Zachary Cox. Let's bring in your 2nd place finisher, David Hartney. David, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Josh, I got you, bud. What's going on?
Man, what a run for you. Win Daytona in the Cup Series. Led a bunch of laps here tonight. Man, you've been showing some speed. Where'd this speed come from?
Bro, I have been looking forward to this day, Josh. I talk to you almost every day in Discord, and not once in this room, bro. I'm stoked. This is awesome to race Eddie for that. I Where it came from, practice, man. I've had more time to dedicate to practicing and racing and racecraft in general, and it's obviously shown.
Yeah, for sure. And man, throwing a battle there, especially Neon in general, kind of dominating here tonight. Dev led a bunch of laps. Joe led a bunch of laps. D Wright was up there a bit as well. Talk us through what the team was doing. I mean, obviously, you guys wanted to race each other hard there at the end, but throughout the race, it looked like you guys were racing each other pretty hard as well.
I mean, the Neon team was definitely the faster team tonight for sure. Devin, Joe, Eddie, D-Rat, we all had a bunch of speed tonight. There wasn't really a strategy, to be honest. It was, up to the stage, it was, let's make sure we have enough fuel to get there. And then the rest of it was, let's just play it out and see what happens. Eddie had to battle Trey there for a little bit to get past him. Unfortunately, we never did. And he lost that 2-second lead. And then Zach was catching us. So there at the end, the only plan was make sure we finish 1-2. Doesn't matter what the order is. Make sure we finish 1-2, and that's exactly what we did. And man, got to give it up to Zach. He put up a hell of a fight there at the end.
Yeah, it was good to see him come back into the league here and have a showing. But man, looking forward to tomorrow night. What are your chances tomorrow night now that you got this under your belt here tonight?
Well, I mean, next gens are a little bit different than the trucks are. It's obviously a lot different. But I've put in a lot more time in those cars than I did the trucks. Trying to figure out, master cylinder brake bias and figuring all that out. So it's going to be a much different race tomorrow. But I think I have good speed, and I'm just hoping for a top 5, man. After the win last week, that's a big field tomorrow. I'd be happy with the top 5.
Well, good luck tomorrow night. Looking forward to seeing what you do there. And again, before we let you go, Dave, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Hey, man, absolutely. All of Neon team, Devin, Eddie, especially Joe D. Wright. I've learned a lot from these guys in the last couple seasons and stuff. So definitely thrilled about that. My wife for letting this happen. I mean, if it wasn't for her, none of this would be happening at all. Want to shout out to America's Auto Auction, West Michigan, for jumping on as a sponsor for the next 2 races. It's awesome to them and basically the whole SCSRA, man. None of this would be possible without you guys to keep this league going. And to bring as much clean racing as we've had this last couple of weeks has been awesome to see. And Josh, obviously you up in the booth. I'm glad to actually talk to you here for once.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you in the booth here tonight. I know there's one more plug that you didn't give here tonight. I know you've got that little show you got.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Thursday nights for SCSRA Live with typically me and Eddie. Sometimes Devin shows up. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, or I'm sorry, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We go over the week's races, talk about some iRacing stuff. I'm sure there'll be lots of conversation about today's update. That kind of didn't go great, but tune in live 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on SCSRA's YouTube channel.
There you go. So again, Dave, congrats and
Appreciate it, brother.
good luck tomorrow night. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, we'll talk to you after.
Have a great night. That's your second place finisher, David Hartney. Let's bring in your winner here tonight. Driver of the 8 machine, Eddie Morris. Eddie, you got Josh up the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Man, what a run for you. You know, we joked about in practice. I was talking with you before the race. You're screwing around. You parked the truck in victory lane. He goes, yeah, I'm just getting some practice for later. And what do you know? You find yourself here in victory lane at Michigan. Man, talk us through those last few laps. Because I know between Hartney and Zach Cox there, you had quite the battle brewing right there.
Dude, I had quite the battle brewing with my truck, brother. Like them tires, man, that right rear just, it didn't stick around very long at all. First off, though, I'm going to shout out to Hartney there. Man, I don't know how we got 1 and 2, but we did. We finished that way. So shout out to him. He's having a super strong season this season so far. Hopefully he can continue that. Super proud of him. But yeah, man, that last couple laps, just trying to keep those guys behind me. You know, a loose car, loose truck. no right rear tire. It was definitely a tough thing to hang on to. So
Speaking of tough things, what the battle with the teammates as well up at the front. You had one point you, Joe, Butchino, and even D. Wright and Hartney were up there battling for the lead, swapping. It seemed like every lap there was a different leader there. What was going through you guys' mind? Because I know you really didn't want to race that hard with each other, I'm sure, but you guys made a good showing of it.
yeah, I know me and Devin was side by side there for a while. I was running the high side. He was trying some things on the low side, and he was talking about washing up and not being comfortable and this and that. And I'm like, bro, I'm barely turning my wheel right now. You know, I was having fun, and then we got those couple cautions, and I don't know if the heat cycle went through or what, but yeah, the heat cycle was definitely did something different to those tires, because I had to definitely turn it a lot more at the top. It wasn't like it was before when I was like, yeah, I'm barely turning this thing. So something happened. But yeah, it was fun. The whole idea was to have everybody lead a lap, get those points. Um, Dev got one, Joe got one. I think D-Rat was the only one that didn't get one. He was coming up through there to get one for sure. Hate we couldn't get him that, but yeah, bro, crazy. It was a lot of fun out there racing with those guys.
I was gonna say it looked like a lot of fun from up here in the booth, and man, what a wild finish there at the end, especially Zach Cox showing some speed there and coming into the picture and battling with you guys. So, man, again, congratulations on the win, parking in victory lane here tonight. I know this is like a home track for you, but
Yes, sir.
before we let you go, Eddie, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you gotta give here tonight?
Oh, for sure, brother. As always, appreciate Intensity coming on board to be the series sponsor in the trucks. We appreciate that. Of course, shout out to Dev Sports Cards for being the series sponsor in the next gens. I know we got Acres. What is it, Acres? I don't have my list ready, man. I've been painting cars and stuff for everybody. This is crazy. I feel horrible. So Acres, yeah, we got Acres. Actually, commercial real estate services. So if you guys are in the need for some kind of real estate, definitely check them out. If you guys are needing any apparel, any kind of race stuff, you got my man Atman Weiss. Go to Intensity. Is it intensity.com, Josh? What is it, brother? Help me out here.
IntensityRacing.com.
There you go. Go to intensityracing.com. And of course, appreciate America's Auto Auction in West Michigan, the Accelerate Group, for coming on and sponsoring this race tonight. Super glad to win at a home track and have it sponsored by somebody in the state there. So that's pretty awesome. So shout out to them. Appreciate those guys for coming on board. Of course, you can't leave out Morris Customs, throwing out those sexy graphics, putting out some sexy paints. So shout out to them. Shout out to my teammates. I know Dev and Joe, they got into a little bit of a incident earlier. Hate it for those guys because those guys were super fast too. Shout out to D Wright. Of course, he's locked in. We got 2 of us locked in. We got 3 more to go. So hopefully we can get that done. And yeah, appreciate you, Josh, for doing this so we can go back and watch it. And thanks to everybody that allows me to do this.
Well, yeah, up before that kerfuffle on pit road is what I'm just going to call that. You guys all had a very dominating race there, so glad to see you come home on top, Eddie. Again, congratulations on the win. Good luck tomorrow night in the Cup Series, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon this season.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, you could probably call me Miss Cleo, bro. I pitted a lap before, like nobody called anything out which lap they were pitting on, and I'm like, I seen Devin kind of dropping back, and I'm like, that sucker is going soon, and he never went, and I'm like, I'm going. I'm not going to be in the middle of any kind of mess. But yeah, that was crazy.
You'll have to paint yourself a Miss Cleo car. I mean, we already know you're going to be running a different car at Dover, so
Nah, that ain't happening, brother.
Have yourself a great night, Eddie. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, brother. You too.
For those wondering what that's all about, Eddie's a big Red Wings fan. I'm a big Colorado Avalanche fan. They're playing each other tomorrow night. I said, if the Avalanche win, Eddie has to run an Avalanche car at Dover, and if I win, or excuse me, if the Red Wings win, I have to run a Red Wings car at Dover. So it's going to be a lot of fun for us. A little friendly bet there, but man, congratulations to him and all of our drivers in the top 3 tonight. It's been a great season so far. A lot of different drivers up front, leading laps, racing hard. And we're only in week number 2. So tune in again here on Intensity Broadcasting as we take on Homestead next week. It's going to be another great one. I can already feel it. And check out all the great partners down below. Of course, Intensity Broadcasting and Appearal, your series sponsor, IntensityRacing.com. Check us out over there. You've got Race EPI for all iRacing coaching and setup needs. Visit raceepi.com for your leader in gaming haptics. Check out The Butt Kicker at thebuttkicker.com. Want to also thank American Auto Group's Accelerate Group out of West Michigan for being the race sponsor for tonight and tomorrow night. And, of course, everybody else who makes this league goes on. We do appreciate you all tuning in, because without you guys here tuning in, it doesn't mean much for us at all. So don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick, we do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Again, don't forget to tune in on next Tuesday as the Doghouse Racing League will be taking on Phoenix, and then the SCSRA will be taking on Homestead Miami Speedway. Of course, we still have Thunderstruck on Thursday night, and the new series that started this past Sunday. They're an every other week series, so don't forget to check out the Sim Rap Market National Series every other Sunday night here on Intensity. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. Don't forget to hit the like button, follow, and subscribe. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.